one of the worst actresses of modern time, where there's so many. You have Brie Larson, Amber Heard, Rachel Zegler, Zendaya. I do not understand why I keep putting Zendaya in every single movie. Like, they act like people actually like Zendaya as well. But Rose Tico has returned. Yes. And guess what? Instead of keeping her mouth shut and trying to get people to like her, she has basically gone down a woke escapade over the past 5 years. She hasn't been in any big movies since Star Wars. Again, Disney has tried to keep her relevant, but that Disney can only do so much. But Kelly Marie Tran lashes out at Star Wars fans. Yeah, this isn't all. She claims that she was bullied off the internet, which probably is not true. Okay, and you gotta realize every single person has people that doesn't like them online. Okay, if the vegan teacher can stay on the internet, and we all know nobody likes the vegan teacher, if I can still stay on the internet, and nobody likes me on the internet, I'm the biggest troll in all of history. Okay, but Kelly Marie Tran is that weak. She basically fled once the people did not like her role in the game. No, not in that game, in the movie. And yes, there were some people who probably did say nasty things to her on Twitter. But that's just the norm of any person. People get death threats from anybody. Okay? As well. The creator of Smash Bros. Got death threats. And he is probably the least deserving person to get death threats in probably all of history. Because characters didn't get added into Smash Bros. Mostly Waluigi and Xeno. Okay? But instead of saying, you know what? I appreciate the Disney, putting me in these movies. I appreciate the paycheck. I won't say anything bad about Star Wars fans. Because Star Wars fans, they've basically been through a lot. They've been basically pummeled to the ground by Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm is the only company that actively hates its own fan base besides Naughty Dog as well. But instead of, saying, you know what, I appreciate the Star Wars movies for giving me a role. Instead, I'm going to attack the Star Wars fandom. The worst thing she could possibly do. She felt like she was persecuted. Oh yes, I'm famous. I'm persecuted. And it's just like the whole thing with Billie Eilish claimed that, yeah, even though she's a millionaire and her albums sell millions of copies, and she has, 400 million listeners on YouTube. Oh yes, but she feels like she's a bad person because she's a woman, because she was born a female. Okay, this is just the reason why people are so sick of this woke bullcrap. Okay, as well. If people don't like a character in the movie because the writers wrote her poorly, for example, I really do believe a character like Miss Marvel have the potential to being a popular character. It's just the writers, ever since the original comic, have not really done the character too well. And there's so many characters that fall into this because the writers don't know how to make a story. Let's look at the modern MCU movies. The modern MCU movies are so bad and so bafflingly terrible. Okay, even the last one I watched, which is considered the best of the modern MCU era, Deadpool and Wolverine. Well, even that movie was a pile of shit. Okay, but basically, she claimed that she was persecuted. And so, oh yes, the same old sob story about her being bullied offline. Okay, people don't believe this bullcrap anymore. Okay, she has become a controversial figure because of her political views as well. I was only being ridiculed. There were comments about my race and comments about me being a woman. Well, no one really said that. People that said, I don't like Rose Tico. She is a poorly written character. Okay, and you know what? Why don't people ridicule K-pop artists besides people who hate K-pop artists? A lot of K-pop artists all come from Asia. Okay, the vast 99% of K-pop artists, there are some that do come from like Africa or the US as well. But they know that K-pop is so successful, they're trying to expand it to other countries as well, not just Korea. Okay, if people hated Asian people as much as Kelly Marie Tran, then why do people love Sakurai, the creator of Smash Bros, so much? Okay, someone who gives his heart and soul into the fans of the franchises that he created, which is Kirby, Smash Bros, and also Kid Icarus Uprising. I know he didn't create Kid Icarus, but nobody hates Sakurai. No one's like, oh yeah, I don't like Sakurai because of his ethnicity. No, no one says that because everybody appreciates the love and soul he puts in to his games as well. Same thing with Kojima. Kojima is also Japanese. I don't know what ethnicity Marie Tran is specifically, what Asian ethnicity she is, but we can go to those examples like Nintendo artists, Nintendo artists, basically Miyamoto, Sakurai, and Onima. Okay, nobody hates them besides a few Zelda fans and and of course the Xenox, obviously, as well. But all three of them created characters that people can connect with. Okay, they know, hey, people love Kirby. Like, yes, Kirby games are not known for the story and war, but people love Kirby games because people love the characters. People love, the universe. Okay, that's, as well. And look at anime. Okay, if people really hated Asians as much as Marie Tran claimed, then why do people like anime? It's one of the biggest questions in the world, as well. Here, and then they always tell me, but people hate women. Oh yes, then why were all the most successful artists of 2024 female artists? You had Taylor Swift's Fortnite, not Fortnite, Torture Porter, that was a song on this album though. Fortnite being the fastest streamed song of all time. Okay, then why is Mariah Carey's song the number one song every Christmas? Where it could easily be Last Christmas is a song by a man, George Michael. Okay, as well. Then why is why are the most streamed artists of last year female artists? Even the new artists, which I'm still not a fan of most of them, but a lot of the most vocal, impactful albums of last year were made by female artists. And the same thing this year, the best-selling album this year, actually, is it Lady Gaga's new album? Is it either Lady Gaga's new album or Bad Bunny's new album? Which his albums usually sell very, very well in Latin America, obviously. But the best-selling Western album, okay, was Lady Gaga's new album. Okay, The Weeknd released a new album, but Lady Gaga's album sold way more than The Weeknd's albums. I actually kind of find it shocking considering how well The Weeknd's albums usually sell. But if people really, really cared this, if people really ridiculed people for being women or being Asian, then why do people hate Nintendo? Besides, the people who create Nintendo games. Okay, why is Nintendo such a beloved company? Okay, why is Kojima such a beloved figure amongst the gaming community? And why is Toriyama considered one of the best writers in all of history? Okay, was it the writer of Dragon Ball Z? Okay, as well. Okay, the reason why people don't like Marie Tran is because he's a woke artist. She's a woke Hollywood actress that does nothing but attack the fans. Same thing with Rachel Zegler and same thing with Brie Larson. Okay, Rachel Zegler is Hispanic, Brie Larson is white, and Marie Tran is Asian, unless she is Hispanic. Because there are people who are Asian that live in Hispanic countries. For example, there are Japanese people in Brazil and Peru as well. Okay, but yeah, no one persecuted Sakurai, Kojima, Toriyama for those things because those are people that are universally loved, and that's what they're all Asian. Okay, they're universally loved. Okay, everybody was upset and saddened when Toriyama died. I think it was last year. Okay, everybody was sad when Toriyama died because he was one of the most influential Asian writers, probably of the past 100 years, and maybe of all history. Okay, Dragon Ball will be popular probably for centuries. Okay, the Toriyama stories will probably be very similar to how people still, see Beowulf and all those other legends like Snow White and Little Mermaid, because it's just a series like Dragon Ball. I think it's going to be popular for centuries. And Marie Tran doesn't understand that she is not going to last centuries like Dragon Ball does. Okay? Dragon Ball does. Okay? She is not going to last like Dragon Ball did. Okay? Dragon Ball will still be popular 100 years from now. Okay? And Latin America, it will probably be for eternity. People in Latin America love Dragon Ball. Okay? As well. See, this is here to seek out therapy and join support groups to cope with reaction to the war. And then so you talk about Finn as well, who also made comments who attacked the Star Wars community as well. And yes, the Star Wars community does have some pretty toxic individuals. Probably but almost nobody criticized Kelly Moon Tran for being a woman and for being Asian. Okay, this is just the play victim mentality that Hollywood continues to do. Okay, and this is why people don't like modern Hollywood as well. Yeah. Okay. Tran supposedly previously left social media because he couldn't handle criticism. Yeah, basically the whole reason why he left social media was because he couldn't handle criticism. I guess maybe I should leave social media too because people criticize my voice, which is something that I was born with. If I really want to change the way I sounded, I would have to get literal surgery to change the way I sound. Okay, I literally would have to get surgery, okay, and spend a lot of money to change my voice to make a small group of people happy, okay, which is just absolutely ridiculous as well here. But she made a new movie, okay. Guess what? No one watched it. Yep. They really claim that, oh yes, people really love Rose Tico and Chloe Marie Tran. She's gonna make a great comeback this year. Wah, 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 wah. Her movie only made $1 million as well. It's just maybe because people don't like her because he's a bad person. Have you ever thought about that? That's the same reason why people don't like the vegan teacher. Why people don't like, Rachel Zegler or Brie Larson or Amber Heard. And especially Diddy and Kanye West. Because they're all bad people. Okay? That's why people don't like them. Okay? As well. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. If you're a bad person, people don't like you. It's just that simple. Okay? But Hollywood doesn't seem to understand that. Hollywood doesn't seem to get that. Okay? They don't seem to understand it. But guess what? How little money did the Ryan Baker make? Less than $1 million. Okay? And this is a remake of a movie. Okay? You think, well, this is like an original. No, this is a remake of an old movie. And they try to make it all woke. About, LGBT, stuff as well here. But much like Rachel Zegler, Kelly Marie Tran doesn't really have any star power. Okay? No one cares about her. And that's why she doesn't like. That's why she's upset. Because no one cares about her. She's never gonna be Jack Black where everybody loves him. Okay? Yes, Zach Black people didn't like the comments Zach Black made about the presidential election, but everybody forgave him because guess what? Zach Black is an actor that brings people to the seats. Okay? Rachel Zegler, Brie Larson, and Kelly Marie Tran do not bring people to the seats. It is just that simple. Okay? People went to go see the Minecraft movie because Jack Black was in it. No one went to go see The Wedding Banquet because Kelly Marie Tran was it. Same thing with, Sinners. There's a large possibility people went to go see the movie because they like Ryan Coogler, which was one of the main actors of the movie. Okay? People don't go see movies to go see Kelly Marie Tran or Rachel Zegler or Brie Larson, and that's what these woke feminist weirdos are upset over. Okay? People want to see actresses and actors that people actually want to see. Okay? And you know what? Zach Black and Will Smith both had controversies in the past couple of years. Okay? Zach Black had the whole, controversies about his bandmate saying horrible things about the current president current president in a certain event that happened in July of 2024. Okay? And guess what? Minecraft movie still made money in spite of that. Okay? And also, you have Will Smith in the famous Oscar slap. People thought that would end his career. Okay? But guess what? People moved on and watched the next Bad Boys movie anyways. Okay? Because they basically, you know what? We admit we were wrong. And also, the real villain of the whole Will Smith thing was Jada Smith. That was the real villain the whole time. Because guess what? Jada Smith basically told him to do that. Yep. Jada Smith is the real villain of them all. I think that was her name. But Kelly Marie Tran is not this big actress. Nobody cares about her. Disney tried all they can to make her relevant. Okay? As well. Okay? I was at the Breitbart article pulled up, but this is basically the same thing. This extremely woke movie, it's just gonna fail. it's just gonna flop. And basically the same most of the same thing in the other article as well. But you can look at the Breitbart article. Current Marie Tran's Creole Super Woke Ready Banquet is humiliated at the box office by Sinners, Accountant, and Minecraft movie, and also the re-release of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith as well, which is even more embarrassing because that is a Star Wars movie that people actually like. Okay, not The Last Jedi. No one likes The Last Jedi. And The Last Jedi, people didn't like that movie, and I wish Disney and Hollywood realized that's the reason why um people don't like The Last Jedi. It's because it's a bad movie as well. But The Wedding Banquet is just a huge flop. It's a huge failure as well. It's a remake of a 1993, that earned $23 million for 23 years ago. One more description. One fourth of cohabiting queer friend group. IVF treatments. His student visa is about to become invalid. Secure a green card. Those are some of the descriptions of the movie. Okay? But why did people go see Minecraft? Because people wanted to have fun. People thought, oh, it's the Minecraft movie. It's going to be fun. And Hollywood will just never understand why people don't want to see woke movies. It's 2025 and Hollywood is still making woke slop that nobody wants to see as well. You think they would, especially Disney, you think they would learn the lesson of the failure of Snow White, but they're not going to learn the lesson. They really believe that people really like woke movies. People really like woke media, okay, as well. Yeah. And that's what this video here. Goodbye.